Hey guys, welcome back for another lesson. If you're new to this channel, my name is Daniel Chavez and I teach you how to play songs like the artist. You guys go ahead and request them and I try to learn them for you and post a video teaching you how to play it. This one is Cowboys and Angels by Dustin Lynch and it was requested by Dez. So good luck trying to learn it. And as always, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment box down below and I'll try to help you out. By the way, it's in full step down tuning. So we're going to start with the intro, which is what I was playing at the beginning of the video. It's going to use some pretty well-known chords, or at least some variations of them. The ones we're going to be using are going to be A minor 7th, you're going to use a B/G, you're going to use a C major, and a variation of an F major as well. So starting off with that A minor 7th chord, you're going to use your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. The rest are going to be open. What you're going to do is pluck the open A string and open B string at the same time. And after you do that, you're going to use your index finger to hammer on to the 1st fret of the B string. Easy as that. After that, you're going to pluck the open A string again, and then the 1st fret of the B string. And then you're going to pluck G, D, G. And again, keeping your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. So then you're going to move on to the G/B chord, and I use my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string and my pinky on the 3rd fret of the B string. It's just how I play it. You can use whatever fingers you'd like. So you pluck those two strings at the same time, and then you're going to pluck the A string again on the 2nd fret and open G string, and then you're going to switch to your C chord, just regular C major, and you're going to pluck the A and the E string at the same time, and the high E is what I'm talking about. Then you're going to pluck the A string again on the 3rd fret, and then 1st fret B string, open G, 2nd fret D, open G, and then do that same thing again. Altogether, the first part should sound like this. I'll play it a little bit slower. Now the second part of the intro is going to sound like this. So starting with that A minor 7th, you're going to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string again, and then leave the B string open. You're going to pluck A and B at the same time, hammer onto the 1st fret of the B string, and then you're going to pluck the open A again, 1st fret B string, and then you're going to pluck an open G, open A, take your index finger off the B string, pluck an open B, and then you're going to switch to that variation of the G chord where all you really need is the 3rd fret of the low E string. The rest are open. And then you're going to pluck the 3rd fret of the E string, open D string, open B, and hammer on to the 1st fret with your index finger. And then you're going to switch to a variation of an F chord. Now this is going to be difficult because it's going to be a wraparound bar chord. The easiest way I've found to do it is to leave your index finger on the 1st fret of the B string, move your ring finger or pinky to the 3rd fret of the D string, and then wrap your thumb around to hold down the 1st fret of the E string. And you're going to pluck this chord, E, D, E, B, G. And again, that G is open. So again, all together it should sound like this. And you let that last G note ring out. Keep practicing those two parts until it sounds like this. Alright guys, next part up is the verse, and this is how it's going to sound. So the first part of the verse is played just like the intro, which you already learned, so you already know that part. It's the second part that's going to change up a little bit. So we're going to go back to that variation of the F chord with your thumb on the first fret of the E string, ring finger or pinky on the third fret of the D string, and your index finger on the first fret of the B string. So you're going to pluck E and B at the same time. Then you're going to pluck E, B, G, D, G. That one's definitely going to take some practice. So next we switch to a regular C chord, but take your middle finger off the second fret of the D string. And what you're going to do is pluck the third fret of the A and an open D at the same time, and then use your middle finger to hammer onto the second fret of the D string. Then you're going to pluck the third fret of the A again, and then an open G, before you switch to that G chord, which again is just the third fret of the E string, the rest are open. So you're going to pluck the third fret of the E string and the open B at the same time, and then you're going to pluck E, B, E, and then you're going to pluck an open G string and use either your index finger or your middle finger to hammer on and pull off from the second fret of the G string. And then you're going to pluck the third fret of the E and the open B string again at the same time. Then E, B, E, and then you're going to pluck open G, open D, open G. Alright, next up is the third part of the verse, and you're going to start with an A minor 7th chord, and these are actually going to change pretty quickly. So you're going to pluck the open A and first fret of the B string at the same time, then pluck an open G, and then switch to the B/G chord. So second fret A string, third fret B string. Pluck those two at the same time, and then pluck the G string again, open. And then you switch to the C chord, and you're going to pluck the third fret of the A string and open high E string. Then you're going to pluck an open G again. And then here comes the hard part, which is switching to that variation of the F chord. And you're going to pluck the first fret of the E string, first fret of the B string, and the third fret of the D string. If that's hard to do, then just pluck the first fret of the E and B strings. And then you're going to pluck E, B, G, D, and then E again, B, G, E, G, and then again E, B, G, E, G, and then you switch to that G, which again, third fret, low E string, the rest are open, and you're going to pluck E twice, and then you're going to pluck an open G. So that third part should sound like this. One more time slower. And then you go back into the intro, but the end of it is played a little bit differently. So it's just the ending that's different. That last F chord, you're going to pluck E, D, E, B, G, E, G, E, E, and then end on the first fret of the B string. And one final note about the verses, the one he plays just before each chorus, it ends on a C chord instead of going back into that intro. So the way you play the C chord just before the chorus, you pluck the third fret of the A string, open D at the same time, and then use your middle finger to hammer onto the second fret. And then you're going to pluck first fret B, open G, second fret D, open G, and then you're going to pluck the third fret of the A string twice, and then first fret B, open G, third fret A, and then open G again. and that's just before you start strumming the chorus. Alright guys, next up is the chorus, and it's going to be used with pretty well-known chords. It's going to sound like this. So this is the part of the song where you have a little bit of freedom with the chords you're using. Now they do go in a certain order. The chords you're going to be using are F, G, C, A minor, and then you're also going to be using a, honestly don't know what this is called, but it's the second fret of the A string and first fret of the B string. If one of you guys know, let me know in the comments, because then I'll know it forever. But those are the chords you're going to be using, and by freedom I mean you can play them how you want. You don't have to play them the way I do, and you can throw in hammer-ons as well. So the strumming pattern for all these chords is going to be pretty similar. If you can just remember this strumming pattern, it's going to go down, down, up, down, 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 up. And it just changes wherever you're putting those chords. So for example, the first chord you're going to use is that F, and again, I play it with the wraparound bar chord. You can play the whole regular bar chord if you'd like. But you're going to strum the F chord down twice. And then you're going to switch to the G to finish off that up, up, down, 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 up. Then you do the same thing for C, which is the next chord. It's going to go down, down, switch to the A minor, and you're going to do up, up, down, 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 up. Now with this one, I really like to do the hammer-on with the first up strum. So I just leave the D and the G string open, and when I strum upward, I hammer on with my middle and ring finger to the second fret of the D and G strings. So far, F, G, C, A minor, and then you go back to F, to G, and then you go C, and you're actually going to hold this for 2 down strums, and then do the up, up, down, and switch to the G chord for the last down, down, up. So that second part. For the next part, you're going to hold the F chord for the line, "My touch is her temptation." And then switch to G for "Her kiss is my salvation." So the next part, you're going to play the chords pretty quickly. It's going to be C, the chord I didn't know, A minor, G, and F. So where he says, "She's sweet, I'm wild, we're dangerous." So you notice that the first 4 chords only get a quick down, down, up strum. So starting with C, down, down, up. Move your middle finger to the second fret of the A string. Leave your index finger on the first fret of the B string. Down, down, up. A minor, down, down, up. And then last one is G for that. Down, down, up. And then you switch to the F chord. And this is towards the end when he says dangerous. And you're going to go down, down, up, down, 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 up. And then when he says Cowboys and Angels, he's going to strum the F chord down, 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 up, and then switch to the G and just do 1 down strum, and then he starts picking the intro again. So again, the ending of the chorus. And again, you can throw hammer-ons in there wherever you want. Alright, so the last part you're going to learn is the outro, which is played after the last verse, just after he says Cowboys and Angels. It's played a little bit differently, so I'm going to play it real quick, and then I'll show you how. So the outro is going to start with that G chord. It's going to be the 3rd fret of the E string and an open B at the same time. And then you're going to pluck an open G string. And then you're going to get your fingers set up for an A minor 7th chord. And you're going to pluck an open A, open B at the same time. And use your index finger to hammer onto the 1st fret. Then it's going to be open A, 1st fret B, open G, 2nd fret D, open G. And then you're going to pluck the 3rd fret of the E and open B string again. Then again, 3rd fret E, open B, open G, 3rd fret E, open G. Next part, you're going to switch to that variation of the F chord, and again you can pluck just the 1st fret of the E and B if you want, or what I do is I pluck the 1st fret E, 3rd fret D, and the 1st fret of the B string at the same time. Then you pluck E, B, G, E, G, and then you switch to the G again, and you're going to pluck 3rd fret E, open B, and then an open G string. Then you play the first part of the intro. Now the second part ends a little bit differently, but you do that A minor again with the hammer on. A minor 7th with the hammer on. G. And when you get to that variation of the F, you pluck the 1st fret of the E string, 3rd fret D, 1st fret E, and then 1st fret B, open G, 3rd fret D, and then 1st fret E again, and you're going to let that one ring out. So all together. And that's how you play it. As always, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate all your continued support and your requests. Thanks again, Des, for requesting this song. It was a lot of fun to learn, so I hope you have fun learning it as well. If you're new and like these videos, go ahead and click subscribe to see more. I try to do at least 1 or 2 a week. I've got quite a few requests on my list right now, but I'm always accepting more, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Guys, this is why my door keeps opening between shots. Say hi, Martin.